Jeison Rosario defeats Julian J. Rock Williams in the 5th round. What would be described as an upset. It was a decent fight. Rosario never remotely heard of the guy until this fight. The guy is 24 years old. He had a record of 19-1-1 going into this fight. So a draw and a loss. Lost to a guy called Nathaniel Gilmore. That was up at middleweight, and he was stopped in 6 rounds. But since then, he's been winning his fights. His last fight before this was against Jorge Cota. You may know he got knocked out by Charlo there, back I think in the summer. Jamel Charlo, not Jamal. No, it was Jamal Charlo actually, not Jamel, who knocked him out. And yeah, he was the guy who went in there and fought Julian Williams. Williams, we know, coming off a good win over Jarrett Hurd. His only previous loss was to Jamal Charlo. That was actually back in 2016. He was doing well in that fight until he got stopped. So those are kind of two fighters in a nutshell. Let's talk about the fight. The fight started out at a good little pace from both guys. You know, J-Rock counter punching, doing very well, boxing well off the back foot. Won the first round pretty comfortably. Looked to have settled down very easy. He was fighting in front of his home crowd for the first time in 8 years, and it didn't seem to affect him, because sometimes when fighters fight in front of their home crowd, especially if they've had a long absence, they can kind of be a bit nervous. They can maybe underperform. You saw that when Deontay Wilder first fought in Alabama against, was it Eric Molina? He underperformed badly in that fight. But, you know, J-Rock started the first round, started out very well. Was counter punching a good bit on the front foot, or on the back foot I should say. And, you know, he was looking quite good. It all changed in the second round, was when a jab from Rosario went in. Now, it didn't look like a particularly hard jab. Didn't look really to, you know, land with any kind of real power. But what it did was it opened the cut over the eyebrow, I think it was the right eyebrow of Julian Williams. And once that cut started, now straight away J-Rock was dabbing at it. Now, it didn't look that bad. It didn't look like a deep cut or anything like that. But it obviously affected J-Rock, because he was his composure just went in that second round. Now, he wasn't badly hurt around the second round, but Rosario definitely took a foothold on the fight in that second round. And like I said, when he went back to the corner, they showed a replay of the jab. And the minute I saw the jab land, it didn't look hard. And I thought to myself, okay, J-Rock must have had a pre-existing cut in camp or some scar tissue, and that's exactly what the corner said, because it looked too light a punch to open a cut like that. You know, it really did. And when I saw that, the first thing actually that came to mind as well was, holy shit, if that will happen to J-Rock, and let's for argument's sake say that was just residual scar tissue from, you know, God knows when, what's going to happen when Deontay Wilder starts landing a couple of jabs on Tyson Fury? Because that scar tissue is fresh. And, you know, you can say whatever you want about, oh, the plastic surgery does this. At the end of the day, the scar tissue will still be fresh. So I would imagine going into this Wilder rematch, that Team Fury will be worrying about that cut badly. Because look at J-Rock. Now, in the third round, J-Rock, he did get his composure back a bit. And I don't want to say he buzzed Rosario, but he landed a very, very good right hand, which I think stunned Rosario a bit. You know, J-Rock's not the biggest puncher in the world. He's got respectable power, but he doesn't appear to be the biggest puncher in the world. So he landed a good right hand in the third round, and definitely took the third round. Going into the fourth round was a big round for Rosario. He didn't so much buzz J-Rock noticeably in the fourth round, but he was landing a lot of hard shots. You know, he's very big at the weight, Rosario. You know, as I said, he campaigned at middleweight previously, and now he's at 154 pounds. So you can really see it. You know, he's tall. He's listed here, I think he was listed at 5'11". He looked taller than that. Unless J-Rock is a lot smaller, and it says that J-Rock is 5'10", it looked more than an inch difference, truth be told. It really did look like more of an inch difference. It looked like a 2 or 3 inch difference, to be fair, in height. But definitely body size, Rosario was a lot bigger. And this isn't like Hurd, who just cuts a lot of weight and just marauds forward. Rosario, he's a little bit more sophisticated than Hurd. You know, there's a bit more to his game, and he's definitely much better defensively than Hurd is. So, took a foothold in the fourth round. Then in the fifth round, he buzzed Williams very badly with a left hook. Williams' legs were appear to go, and J-Rock went down, but he wasn't knocked down from the punch per se. It was more kind of him just stumbling to the ground more so. He held on and just kind of went down. The referee didn't rule it a knockdown, but J-Rock was using and as much time as he could before he could get up, you know, trying to make the most of kind of everything that the referee was giving him. But then an uppercut landed from Rosario, forced J-Rock back into the ropes, and referee Benji Estevez stopped the fight. Some might say premature, but I think that J-Rock was finished at that point. It made me think that the cut might have actually affected his peripheral vision, because He really did seem to lack a lot of urgency and defense after that cut went in. So the fight was ended. It was a good fight. Rosario, like I said, I'd never heard of him prior to this fight, so it was interesting seeing what he's like. He's not a bad fighter. He's definitely not a bad fighter. And we know Jarrett Hurd is out, I think, next week. He's still going to be at 154 pounds. I think Rosario will beat Jarrett Hurd. I think that Jarrett Hurd, someone like J-Rock exposed all the flaws in Jarrett Hurd, but I think someone like Rosario would expose even more flaws, because he'd be just as big as Hurd. Maybe not as big, but he'd be definitely, he wouldn't be bullied by him. He hits very hard, as it seems here, because never did I see Hurd even remotely buzz Julian Williams, J-Rock. And J-Rock doesn't have a granite chin, make no mistake about it. He's not got an iron chin. So I think that Rosario would beat the crap out of Jarrett Hurd, truth be told, if they ever fought. So yeah, we have to keep an eye on him, see how he goes. This was a voluntary, I think. So J-Rock, you could get a rematch if you want it. It'd be interesting to see if he does go down that route. But yeah, very interesting fight. Enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down below. What do you think Rosario is going to do? Do you think he'll fight Williams again? Do you think he'll try and him and Charlo be an interesting fight, actually, truth be told? I wouldn't mind seeing that. So definitely some goings on in the 154-pound division. Let me know what you think down below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. Subscribe, of course, if you are new. And as always, I will talk to you after.